to Folklore Unlocked. I'm Austin, and I'm joined by Ethan.
Hello there, everyone.
And this week we're covering the Skinwalker. And the origins of the Skinwalker comes from the Navajo culture, and the term Skinwalkers kind of the English term for what the Navajo call people that practice black magic, and out of respect for the Navajo culture, I'm not gonna say what they call it because it's bad luck. It's just yeah, nasty stuff according to Navajos. And skinwalkers are witches. They have the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal, primarily predators like crows and coyotes, kind of bad omen kind of creatures in their traditions. And witches, including the skinwalker, are the antithesis of Navajo culture because they practice this dark magic stuff. So, uh, in Navajo culture, which they don't share much about skinwalkers with outsiders because, well, like I said, skinwalkers are kind of the antithesis to their culture. You want to cover the abilities?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. So, besides being like just shapeshifters, skinwalkers can possess the ability to of telepathy, voice mimicry, and also the creation of poisons or disease-ridden powders, which they call magical eye. And skinwalkers can't fully transform into a animal. Well, yeah. So they can't transform into an animal fully. They have deformities in their animal form, and it includes like a bad gait or a bad big feet or just something else that makes them. You can tell them apart from a regular animal, and it reveals their true nature. And they can only shapeshift if they have the pelt of an animal. So they can't just turn into any random animal. They couldn't like turn into like a dinosaur or anything.
Which would be hilarious if they could.
I know. Can you just imagine us walking around and just see like a velociraptor or something like that walking around in the forest? And it's like, I don't think that should be able to happen, but all right.
And to go along with the gates of a skinwalker for an animal form, outside their animal form, they appear just to be a normal human, which in this case part of the Navajo tribe, outside their dark aura that they seemingly emit. And that they also, like I say, are linked to trickster animals and bad omens like the coyote or the crow. And in their human form, they're kind of would be called creeps in like everyday kind of situations, but quiet and distant personalities along with being uncomfortable in human skin, which would make sense if they want to be, causing trouble without revealing their true identity. And in the bottom right, we've got an alleged photo of a skinwalker,
Can I just say that that's
which is kind of,
terrifying?
yeah, say that's kind of a creepy photo. So,
Really, to me,
I
it looks like someone's
no,
doing a crab walk and they have like an animal mask on. It kind of looks like that. It doesn't even look like a actual animal that you'd think of.
honestly, I would not want to meet whoever or whatever that thing is in the middle of the night.
No.
Hell, I don't think I want to meet me at the middle of the day either.
Can you just imagine that just like running up to you in the middle of the forest? I-
Exactly. I think I would be shin myself.
Exactly, exactly.
But for some lore, well, like I said earlier, Navajo are reluctant to share anything about the Skinwalker with non-Navajo people, and 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 the stories that they have told outsiders, they tell of life and death struggles in which it's Navajo versus Skinwalker, where either the Navajo kills the Skinwalker or the Skinwalker kills the Navajo, which or in a stalemate, which Navajo reaches a hogan or hugon, which is not traditional Navajo dwelling, which I found is now primarily used for like for symbolic purposes nowadays. And it is said that only a bullet or a knife rubbed in white ash can even think about killing a skinwalker. And a person can become a skinwalker by performing dark magic as a medicine man or medicine woman, or by breaking tribal taboo, or breaking or doing a social transgression. So basically, yeah, you've got to be a bad person to become a skinwalker.
So now skinwalkers can't enter the home whenever they get there, or
Yeah, that I don't think they can, like, I don't think they can cross into like Navajo villages.
okay, okay. Because I sat there, it's like, okay, so they just like the Navajo can get back to their house. They basically win, and I'm like, that's kind of like a vampire. Vampires can't enter like a house without being like allowed to enter, being told they can.
But yeah, yeah. Well, I found like a hogan is the best way to escape a skinwalker.
I wonder what can be considered like a dwelling or something like that. Can you just like put a couple sticks up and be like, "Oh, this is my house. You can't come after me now."
But it seems like a hogan is a specific type of Navajo dwelling.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, a cabin can be a house. Like, all cabins are houses, but not all houses are cabins.
All right, I get you. I get you.
So it's a Navajo dwelling, but not all Navajo dwellings are hogans. So we've got a little bit of pop culture to talk about. And Ethan, you said you watched the Skinwalker movie.
Sadly, I did watch it. I was sitting here looking through the slides, and you had the Skinwalker 2021 movie, and I'm like, I can watch that. You know, I'm not gonna watch a full TV series on the Skinwalker, but I'm like, I can watch a movie. It was like a little over an hour and 30 minutes, and I'm sad to say that it was not a good movie. basically if the last 10 minutes the Skinwalker showed up. That was basically what happened in the movie. And even before that, like the way it starts out is they steal something from like a I think they ended up saying it was Apache and not Navajo in the movie or whatever, but they steal something from an Indian burial and there's a I don't know if it was the Skinwalker possessing a snake or if it was the Skinwalker turned into a snake or whatnot, but the snake ends up biting someone. That person ends up like dying, and then I don't know if the Skinwalker possessed that person also, but the guy dies, comes back and tries to attack someone else. It's kind of like a zombie aspect because after they got like scratched or something like that, it infected another person, and it just went down the line until finally a medicine man from the tribe came and kind of put down the Skinwalker. So I mean, it was very bad acting. The like cinematography and everything like that was not that great, and the Skinwalker only showed up in the last half. So I would give it like a maybe a 3 out of 10.
Sounds like that's generous.
That was very generous. That was very generous. It's basically just like okay, cool. But I mean, that's even because I just kind of like zombie movies. So I mean, even that just that aspect of like them dying and kind of coming back, that's kind of a zombie. And I think that's the only reason why I'm giving it like a 3 out of 10.
And I forgot to mention that Navajos only wear two types of animal pelts, and that's sheepskin and buckskin, which are ceremonial today. So if you're if the Navajo's wearing anything but sheepskin or buckskin, ch- according to legend, chances are they're Skinwalker.
Hmm.
So, but in my opinion, it's hard to say if Skinwalkers actually exist, since Navajos are reluctant to talk about Skinwalkers to anyone outside their tribe. But I believe there's a grain of truth in there because there might have been like a evil shaman or medicine person that start doing bad things and start wearing like a coyote skin, and then maybe they turn that into the legend of the Skinwalker. So that's how I think the legend of the Skinwalker started was like a medicine person started wearing a coyote skin and started doing bad things. So the Navajo turned that into the legend of the Skinwalker, and it took off from there. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I don't think they actually turn into animals. I think that's a little too far fetched. It kind of makes for a good story, and also it could make a good horror movie if someone actually makes a good one. But um, I think more likely them wearing the pelts just make them look like animals. That's probably a more likely thing because I've kind of like you know the bearskin rugs and stuff like that. If you put that kind of on you, if you're like a bigger person, you could look like a bear, depending on how you do it. But I mean, I'm guessing they don't actually turn into the animals. And kind of with their abilities, like the voice mimicry and stuff like that, I've seen people that can mimic people's voices very well. And I think most people can learn that. And I mean, a Skinwalker person or a Navajo black magic person could probably learn how to mimic people. And I don't think they would actually turn to animals. Making poisons and stuff like that is not really that hard if you just look up how to do it. I mean, you can make poison with a lot of stuff you wouldn't think of. So I don't think all their abilities, other than the telepathy, telepathy is the one thing I'm sitting here. I'm like, people don't actually able to do. So that's the only thing that kind of puts them apart. I feel like. So I don't believe in skinwalkers. But I mean, there could be animals walking around that are skinwalkers, and I might not have noticed. I have no idea. But I don't believe in them. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe skinwalkers are real either, but well, like I said, that they could have had like a bad experience with a medicine person that did start wearing like a coyote pelt or something, and that medicine person started doing thing, things against the tribe, and they just twisted it to become the legend that it is today.
Yeah, kind of like you.
Which would make a
Go ahead.
which makes a lot of sense. A lot of stories get started that way, like, oh, this person did something bad and they did these things, and it just evolves into something like the Skinwalker.
Yeah, and kind of like you said, we don't really know because the Navajo don't talk about it. So I mean, there might be a lot of stuff about them that we don't know yet, or I mean, we might already know everything, and they're just like, no, we're not gonna tell them they know everything.
Exactly. But I think that's all we've got today. Thanks for watching. Watching if you're on YouTube, listening if you're on Spotify. Do you have anything to end us off, Ethan?
No, I think I'm good.
Well, we'll see you next week with part two Skinwalker Ranch.
Yep. Bye, everyone.